What's up everyone, Erica here, and I'm back today with another video for you. Happy Valentine's-ish month day. I feel like I should apologize again that you guys have to see me in this state. My skin just hates me these days, you guys. I don't really know what else to say about it. It is officially the month of love. Today I'm going to be doing a Valentine's Day themed makeup tutorial. Since it is the month of love, I thought it would be a kind of fun little twist to sit down and kind of do like a story time with you guys. I will be sharing with you all some of my favorite Valentines ever spent with my husband. Maybe give you guys some ideas, some last minute ideas. I know one of them that I did, like maybe our first Valentine's Day together, was definitely like pandemic friendly now, so an idea for you guys. But I will also be sharing with you the best Valentine's Day that we ever had. Like, it's never gonna be topped. So it'll be very hard to top that one. As you guys know, I'm very, very into Bailey Sarian right now, like her murder mystery makeup Mondays. So I'm kind of like taking this from her. And I know that my friend Taryn just recently started doing a segment where she talks about, she's debunking like Disney theories while doing her makeup, and like I am seriously like obsessed with this idea. So I know that makeup tutorials can get a little like redundant, same thing, so I thought that this would be a great way to kind of show you guys how I'm achieving this makeup look, but also kind of let you guys in on some fun little stories about me and my husband as well. That seems kind of weird. A little sidebar, you guys, I have obviously like my Valentine's Day display. I think I have a tutorial on how I did this, so if you're interested in seeing that, I will have it linked. But a little side note, if you guys hear me kind of talking a little bit weird, or like, I don't know, if there's just different, you can hear things differently in my voice, I am going through what I think might be lockjaw. Don't worry, I'm getting it checked out, but the show must go on, okay? I can't stop filming just because my mouth won't literally let me talk. But if you guys kind of hear me talking a little weird, that's why, that's what's going on. So I am gonna get started with my makeup. I already have my brows, and then I like prepped and primed my eyes. So I am going to be using a variety of palettes today. I'm using a lot of pinks, which isn't something that I do, but I'll be honest with you guys. Every time I do pink makeup, I end up really liking it. So I don't know why I don't do it more often. I do like to aim these looks for you guys to use if you're going out for like a date night on Valentine's Day. I don't really know what that means for us this year since we are again in the middle of a pandemic, but you know, whatever you're doing, make it fun and look cute. That always helps me for sure. So the very first Valentine's Day that JD and I spent together, we were friends first. For those of you that don't know, that's like kind of like a little backstory on JD and I. We were friends first, and we were hanging out a lot, mutual friends and things like that. So we knew each other fairly well when we started dating. And I don't know, I don't want to get like so cheesy, but my husband, I'm like obsessed with him, you guys. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Erica. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff. But that is something to know about me. I am completely like in love, obsessed. I think he's so hot. Like, I'm in love with my husband. That sounds so stupid to say, like, no duh, I'm married to him, but like, he fine. Yeah. And I was, you know, head over heels for him, like, of course, when we first started dating, of course, right? So I wanted to do something special for him. At the time we started dating, he was working at a pizzeria, fun fact. Our time off together was always like, we always had opposite hours. So he would work nights and weekends, and I worked like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, you know? So our time off was like very limited. So the first Valentine's Day that we spent together, I surprised him with a little romantic picnic on the beach. So we went to a beach here in San Diego that isn't like a very popular or crazy beach. Like, it isn't one that everyone's at all the time. I did go ahead and like look at the location before I took him there because I didn't want to like drive there and then be like, well, what the hell, like where are we gonna go? That day, like I packed a bunch of sandwiches. I packed his favorite sandwich, my favorite sandwich. I packed us like fruit and chips and stuff like that. I might have already had this on hand, but I used a heart-shaped cookie cutter and I cut like our sandwiches out, like, you know, I made hearts out of them. I had baked brownies and I had cut like heart shapes out of them and everything. So it was very like sweet and romantic, and I had bought little things like heart-shaped paper plates and things like that. So like I had a blanket, I set everything up. So I like blindfolded him. I drove us to the beach, and then I set everything up while he like waited in the car. And I don't know, that Valentine's Day always stands out to me, of course, because it was our first one. But also, I really like planning things. I really do. I think it's so much fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't think it's really fair that the man has to plan it all the time. So I never wanted JD to feel like it was always gonna land on him. So for a while, we had a tradition where we would take turns planning out what we were gonna do. So like, if I took on our anniversary, it would be his turn to do Valentine's Day or things like that, like the romantic stuff. Really only anniversaries and Valentine's Day. And it was fun because it kind of like took the pressure off one another for one celebration, if you will. I don't know why we stopped doing that, because I remember like we both really liked that. But anyway, I just remember really liking the fact that like I was able to surprise him, because, you know, obviously in the beginning, like we were going on a lot of dates, he had to plan everything and all that kind of stuff. But it was really nice to surprise him and kind of like return the favor or be romantic. Like I like being romantic too. So that was definitely, and that's what I was referring to. Like that's totally a COVID friendly. I don't know, obviously it'll depend on like where you're at, where you guys are all located, but like we here in San Diego are allowed to be on the beach. So there's one option. So that was our first Valentine's Day, and one that definitely like still is a special memory for both of us for sure. The next Valentine's Day that I wanted to bring up is literally what we did last year. This time last year, I'm pretty sure it was Valentine's Day. It's funny because this time last year, like the pandemic was just starting to become a real thing, and like obviously it was getting serious and stuff like that. But I mean, for JD and I, we had an almost 2-year-old. So like we had a baby. JD and I aren't really big on like going out to dinner on Valentine's Day anymore. Like we do like to celebrate it. We're not the people that are like, oh, it's a commercialized holiday, it's stupid. No, I love Valentine's Day. I would even go like venture out to say like it's one of my more favorite holidays. I love to celebrate love. I think it's great. So do with that information what you will. Anyway, with all of that being said, JD and I last year, like nothing really different about that. Like we were at home. Again, this was before the stay-at-home order, I believe, I think. So I kind of did the same thing. I think JD had planned something else, but I was like, I'm gonna surprise him and we're gonna do, because JD didn't. JD was still working at this point. So on Valentine's Day, I did a cute little setup. Like once we put Juliana to bed, I was like, can you give me some time? So I set up a blanket and I made us a little table, and like I think we even ate, I don't remember what we ate for dinner, but we even ate dinner on the floor, and like we watched a movie. I went heavy on the dessert, if anything. Like I had like fruit and I got champagne, and like a very luxurious experience, but like at home. So I got like chocolate strawberries and just, you know, the romance, but like doing it from home. I think that there's something so special about that, especially with the quarantine. Like spruce up an area of your house, because since we're spending so much time at home, like it gets boring, you know, like, okay, cool, the living room, we're here every night, awesome. But like if you add a little bit of ambiance, I think it could totally be super romantic. So that's what I did last year, and we had a lot of fun. It was very fun and like romantic and just a little different than every other night that we're in the living room. So as I'm finishing up the eyes, I guess now is a good time to tell you guys about my favorite Valentine's Day we ever spent together. And some of you, if you've been with me for freaking ever and ever and ever, one of the best Valentine's Days ever that I've ever experienced was when my husband proposed to me. So he actually proposed to me on Valentine's Day, which for those of you that don't know, Valentine's Day, I believe, was made up by Leslie Knope of Parks and Rec. And that holiday is to celebrate your gal pals, and that is February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna give you guys like the full-ish version while I finish up my makeup here. My friend Crystal and I, she was a coworker of mine at the time, and my best friend, she and I had always celebrated Valentine's Day. We were both huge fans of the show Parks and Rec. We love that show. We had celebrated, I think that was like our 3rd year celebrating Valentine's Day, maybe more than that. We love the show. We love the show Parks and Rec, so we celebrated. We would go out and we would go out to dinner and we would get each other like cliche gifts. It's really just about celebrating your gal pals. That's like the focus of Valentine's Day. So my friend Crystal and I were always like celebrating this, and fun fact, her husband and my husband were also like really great friends. They kind of like wanted to crash our party. They were like, we want to come make it Valentine's Day, like we want to be involved. And we're like, fine. So we let them crash our little, you know, whatever you want to call it, our Valentine's Day. I'm almost certain I planned it. Like I'm almost certain I picked the location, but I don't know, my memory does not serve me correctly on that. But all right, you guys, I don't mean to leave you in suspense with this story, but let me go ahead and do my eyeliner and I will be right back. I went ahead and did my wing liner and my lashes. You have to forgive me, I kind of like wonka-doed these a little bit. I cut off more from this one than I did this one. It's fine, we're not gonna address it, even though I just addressed it. So I'm gonna keep going with my makeup, but I also need to get back into like telling you guys this story, right? Okay. I also need to just shout out my friend Paola. Look at these beauty blenders, you guys. It's a freaking Mickey beauty blender. I can't. So I think I was telling you guys that, you know, JD and Ryan is his name. So Ryan and Crystal are the married couple that are our friends. My friend is Crystal and Ryan is, well, both of our friends, but you get the picture. The boys are like, we want to come. So we let them, okay, fine. So Crystal's like, well, where should we go? And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it was my decision to go to the boathouse, or is it the harbor house or the boathouse? Harbor house. I don't even know if that was one of my options, but anyway, so we're getting ready, JD and I. We're obviously like already living together at this point. And I was like, I remember asking him that night, like, what do you think I should wear? And he helped me pick my outfit, which obviously now I know why he picked like the fancier of the two, because he knew what he was up to. I did not. We get there and I get a text from Crystal saying like, hey, we're already inside if you guys just want to come in. This might not be like a big deal to you guys, but Crystal is always late, okay? Crystal is always late, and I remember like turning to JD and being like, oh my God, Crystal beat us here, like we must be late, what's going on? And JD was like, no, let's go inside. So we go inside, we meet with Crystal and Ryan, and we're like eating dinner, whatever. JD doesn't eat his meal, which again, might seem like whatever to you guys, but my husband is this big but eats like a crazy person. I remember thinking like, that's so weird that he doesn't want to eat, right? Like he's not really eating, like, I don't know. And he ordered like a huge beer that was like the size of my head, and he like downed that but wasn't eating. So I was like, okay. And in the middle of dinner, Crystal's phone rings and she answers it and she's like, hold on, I'll be right back. So she leaves. She comes back and it's like, I can see her over there like having this full-blown conversation. I'm like, what's going on? So she comes back and she's like, oh my God, you guys. I'm like, what? So she gives me this whole story. And if you're listening to this and you're like, Erica, how did you not know? Seriously, I know, because I'm onto everything, okay? So Crystal's like, you won't believe it. Like my brother, he and his girlfriend, like they got drunk and like, it's this whole thing, right? So she gives me this whole elaborate story. she's like, you know how my brother is? And I'm like, yeah, oh my God, Crystal, no, don't go pick him up. Like, teach him a lesson that you're not gonna just be there all the time. And she's like, I know, but I just feel bad because I don't want him to like get picked up, like the cops show up or something. And I'm like, that's true. So we're having like this full-blown like dialogue, right? Little did I know it was like part of the plan. So they leave and we were kind of like already done eating. So I'm like, whatever. So JD was like, oh, you know what? There's like a Ben and Jerry's here. Let's go get like an ice cream or something, like since it's just us. And we had already been asked by the restaurant, like, do you want to have dessert? And I was like, no, I'm so full. I think I had pasta that night, so I was so full. I was like, no, I don't want to get ice cream. And JD's like, okay, well, let's go get like a drink or something. And I'm like, no, I'm wearing these super high heels. My feet hurt. I don't want to be like walking around Seaport Village in these shoes. Poor guy, I was making his job so difficult. So he's like, okay, well, let's just go walk around, like take pictures, I guess, if you want. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm gonna try to like put pictures of this so you guys can get a little bit better of an idea. But like when you leave the restaurant, oh my God, my skin is acting out here. Whatever, we're just gonna go with it. When you leave the restaurant, there's this little like, I wanna say koi pond, but I mean, I don't think they're just, I don't even know what's in there. I know there's turtles in there, but anyway, there's a little running creek, I want to say. Obviously it's man-made, and there's a little bridge that goes over it. It's really, really cute, very pretty. I went to like put my arm around him and he kind of like, I could feel like our rib cages touching. I could feel his heart like pounding in his chest. And then I was like, what is going on right now? Like, I just thought it was so weird. But again, like, I'm not thinking that. Like, if you're engaged, or okay, if you're married, and like what if and when your significant other proposed to you, like, I feel like you feel stupid thinking that someone's gonna propose to you, because what if you're wrong? Like, that's so dumb, right? So I never like to like let myself get there. So I guess that's why I never was like, oh, this is it, you know? So we're walking on this bridge and he starts to like look at me and tell me like, I hope you know how much you mean to me and things like that. Like, I literally can't even tell you guys word for word. One, because I can't remember. And two, because I'll start crying and I just did my lashes and they're gonna come off. So like, I'm not gonna do that. But he obviously like started telling me like all these things, and I was immediately like sobbing because that was when I started picking up on it. And he got down on one knee and he proposed to me. And like, while he was, you know, like we were hugging and I said yes, and I'm like sobbing, I see like paparazzi, okay? I'm like, oh my God, guys, it's not Kim Kardashian, you guys, it's just me, it's Erika. I hate myself sometimes, I'm so sorry. Crystal, my friend, was just like the actual best, and she helped JD book a photographer to capture the engagement. So she was like hiding, legit hiding in the bushes, you guys. Like, good for her. She was committed. Because I think you're not allowed to hire, like, you're not allowed to take pictures in Seaport Village or something like that. I don't remember. She came up to us and like, obviously I'm like crying and stuff, and she was like, you know, I'm gonna let you guys like have your moment, but you know, when you're ready, I want to take some pictures of you guys like while the moment is fresh, and like, let's take pictures here in Seaport Village, like it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, that's such a great idea. So, you know, JD and I had like our special moment. We sat there like on the little benches there and just kind of like, I don't know, it was a very like tender and sweet moment, obviously. Like, I just couldn't believe it. My face, oh my God, I remember how bad my face hurt from like smiling and laughing and like crying and all of the emotions. So once we kind of like composed ourselves a little bit more, we walked around Seaport Village and like took pictures, and it was so special. And yeah, it was like a very romantic moment. And I was like, is that why, you know, Crystal left? And he was like, yeah, you know, she wanted to like let us have our time and whatever, right? Like, he's giving me this whole spiel. I'm obviously on cloud 9 and all that. So on the way home, I'm like calling my mom, I'm calling my dad, I'm calling my family, my friends, like I'm calling everyone to let them know, right? So we get home to our little, to our first place, which was a little townhouse. The way it was set up is like, you open the front door and the first thing you see are like stairs. So you have to like walk upstairs and then it's our apartment. So we walk in the front door and the first thing I see are, there's a bunch of like tea lights going up the stairs, and like rose petals. Crystal and Ryan really did go, they left, but they like booked it to my house and decorated my entire house. We walk up and JD knew that, like JD was in on that part, that they were gonna decorate like the entire house. But what he didn't know was that they had left us some champagne with like champagne flutes and like congratulations and all that. But they had made us a little like a slideshow of us like congratulating us, and like, oh my god, you guys, JD and I sitting there crying over this slideshow. Like, I will never forget that moment, because you know, the engagement, the proposal is totally like for the girl, right? Like there's no real part for the guy. Like the guy has to do all the hard work, like buy the ring, plan everything and not mess it up and say the right thing and get the timing right. Like it's all for the girl, right? So the fact that like this was also for him and he didn't know about it was so special, so romantic. Like I'll never forget that. So Crystal and Ryan, I don't think you guys watch my YouTube channel, but if you do and you're watching this video, seriously, that was like the freaking bet. Like they were the, like they need to do this as their profession. It was so good. Obviously that was like the best Valentine's Day ever. I got proposed to and it was so magical, like everything I ever wanted. Crystal even went as far as like, she knew I wanted to, like, if possible, have my nails done before I got proposed to, but like how would you do that without absolutely like knowing it's coming? She got me on that one, so my nails were done. Unlike today, I'm gonna turn this blemish into a mole, for sure. Seaport Village has such a special place in my heart now, like for obvious reasons, because that's where we got engaged. We like purposely tried to continue to make it a special place because we went there the day that we found out we were having a girl. Like we had found out that day. We were gonna go to Seaport Village, like get ice cream and walk around and like look at the gender there at Seaport Village, but we ended up like not making it out of the parking lot, but we still went to Seaport Village and it was special. So we definitely associate Seaport Village as being like a special place to us, has a lot of like sentimental value, that kind of thing. We took Saria there when she came to visit us. So needless to say, Valentine's Day obviously holds a special place in my heart. I love celebrating with my husband, obviously. He's the best. He's definitely made it a point to just make it special for me and for us. And I just wanted to share some that I personally have done to be a good wife and not just make it be all about him putting in the work. Again, I don't mind being the one to create some romance at all. If anything, I like thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, I'm using the Jordana lip pencil in Sexy Mauve. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Ladies First from the Dose of Colors collection. When a lipstick is too pigmented or like too bright or too pink on me, I just take my finger and kind of blend it in with my natural lip shade. I feel like it helps dull it down a little bit. So now that the lip is done, I'm gonna quickly apply some mascara. All right, you guys, here is the look with mascara and all that. I am going to be taking my brow pencil. Again, this is, I always say this is optional. Literally anything I'm doing is optional. You don't have to copy every single thing I'm doing, obviously, but I'm gonna turn this blemish into a mole. If you have been around with me for a while, this might not be the first time you're seeing me do this. I just take my brow pencil and place it down on the blemish a couple of times. And if it looks too intense like that, all I'll do is I will take a setting brush with a little bit of translucent powder and just run it over just a smidge, and it looks a little more natural. So once you've covered up that blemish, this is the finished look. I'm going to quickly do an outfit change to get into something that's a little bit more glamorous. That completes this Valentine's Day inspired makeup look. I hope that you guys enjoyed sitting down with me while I do my makeup, telling you some of my favorite Valentine's Day shared with my forever Valentine, my husband, JD. JD, if you're watching this video, I love you and you're the love of my life, and I can't wait to spend every freaking Valentine's Day with you forever and ever and ever. Like you have a choice. all joking aside, I am so grateful to have a husband who is literally like my dream come true. JD, I love you from the bottom of my heart. That's it. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed sitting down with me and hearing me talk about some of my favorite Valentine's Day shared with my husband. If you have any questions for me regarding like products I used or really anything, be sure to leave me a comment and I will get back to you. But for now, I think that's all I have to say. As always, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you back again for the next one. Bye.